The following is a presentation of TBS Sports. Exclusively on Superstation TBS.
Bernie Bickerstaff of the Seattle Supersonics has changed the focus of his system. Gone is the emphasis on the three basketeers. Tom Chambers is now a rising sun in Phoenix. Dale Ellis is the third leading scorer in the NBA and having his best season as a Sonic. And the always feared X-Man is now adapting to life off the bench. Head coach Mike Schuler of Portland, once a coach of the year, is now under fire, but he always has talented players such as Kevin Duckworth. Terry Porter, one of the league's most consistent point guards. Jerome Kersey, a budding star. Clyde Drexler, the Northwest answer to Michael Jordan, and the forgotten man who could change it all. There you see the history of this series. This year, Portland has won 2 of the 3 games. They won 1 game in Seattle, 1 game here. And we're underway. The Sonics have a chance to score first. Cage takes it over Bryant. Duckworth the rebound. Porter has been hobbled a little bit lately with a bad ankle, but he's in the starting lineup tonight. Good ball movement, and the first 2 points of the night belong to Portland. Kevin Duckworth, who's averaging 19 points a game, gets the first 2 of the night. Dale Ellis, who can light him up with the best of them. He's averaging 28 a game. So is Clyde Drexler of Portland. We are tied at 2.
Pete, the key to these teams is that the Sonics play a very physical, aggressive, defensive type of game. They try to pound and wear you down. The Trailblazers really like a transition game. They like to come inside. Duckworth misses that first chance.
And the rebound comes out to Seattle. McMillan over to Ellis. His jumper a little strong. Rebound pulled away by the rookie from Seton Hall, Mark Bryant. Length of the court, winds up in the hands of Drexler. 4-2 Portland as Drexler gets his first bucket of the night.
Well, that's the same problem Billups had. You know, he couldn't catch the ball in the Super Bowl, and it ended up being costly. Drexler with an easy 2.
Shot by McMillan a little bit wide. Rebound pulled away by Portland. Porter will take it from just inside the 3-point circle. That shot a little strong, and we get our first whistle of the night. A loose ball foul is going to be called underneath. And Jerome Kersey is called for it, his first.
Kersey is complaining because it was just a light push. I just had rested my hand. I hadn't really done anything.
A kinder, gentler push. He still got caught for it. McKey with a strong move to the basket, and he drew the foul as he went in. He'll go to the line.
First personal foul on
Mark Bryant committing his first.
And sometimes his choices get him in trouble as he gets 1 or 2 free throws.
And it's now 4-3 Portland lead with just over 10 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Porter works against McMillan. Kersey takes it over Cage and hits. Jerome Kersey, averaging 17 a game, gets his first 2 of the night. Portland leads at 6-3. McMillan down low to Cage. Cage had it tipped away by Duckworth. Loose ball picked up by Porter. Blazers start their break. Porter dishing off to Bryant. Bryant underhands it in. His first 2 of the night.
Now, Portland ran a layup drill on Sunday against the New York Knicks and came out on the minus in, but that's the game that they excel in, transition.
That last game against the Knicks. First, you see Ellis hit his 4th point of the night. Portland had something like 56 layup opportunities and missed 20 of them. Nice move by Drexler. He now has 4 points. This could turn into a real shootout tonight between Ellis and Drexler.
Well, they normally neutralize each other. As Duckworth helped hit that one in, they'll give it to Michael Cage. Well, they give it to McKey.
Give McKey credit for the basket. It's now a 3-point Portland lead. 8:54 left in this opening quarter.
You know, so if you talk about Ellis and Drexler, you have to look elsewhere really for the win. It's either going to be McKey or McDaniels for the Sonics, or Kersey or Vandeweghe or some player coming off the bench.
Porter has Lister. Nice pass underneath to Clyde Drexler, and Drexler has scored a quick 6 here in this first quarter. It's 12-7, Portland by 5. Ellis from three-point territory, where he's hit 50% of his shots this year. And he'll be in the three-point shootout All-Star weekend in Houston, which is just around the corner. 7 points in the game now for Dale Ellis. Portland still leads at 12-10.
The last time in, Ellis had a real tough shooting night, and I'm sure he's out to make amends for that. And he'd like to help these Sonics get a win, as they've had a tough time against Portland.
Duckworth sends it over to Drexler, whose jumper won't go. Rebound still loose, goes out of bounds. Ball still belongs to Portland. We mentioned the recent Portland problems. They've lost 7 of their last 11. Seattle, Steve, as you mentioned, started off the year slowly. They were 6-7 after 13 games. They've gone 17-7 since then.
Again, it was an adjustment for everyone involved as Kersey looks at the hoop.
And he got it to fall for him. Jerome Kersey now with 4 points. And it's a 14-10 Portland lead. Well, anytime a team goes through personnel changes and changes their system, there's going to be a little adjustment time required. And that seemed to be the case with Seattle, but they certainly seem to have kicked into gear right now. Lister with his first basket to make it 14-12. Bryant left unguarded. Couldn't hit the short jumper. And we're going to get a foul called over the top. Take away the basket. Kevin Duckworth called for his first. So now Seattle can tie it up this trip. And the turnover gives it right back to the Blazers. Porter to Drexler. Drexler, strong move in. He got fouled by McMillan. That's the first whistle.
Manufacture opportunities, and on Sunday he was red hot.
And that was just 2 points away from his career high, that 48-point game. The 50-point game Drexler had came earlier this year in an overtime contest. He hits 1 of 2, and Portland leads it now by 3. Ellis had the ball tipped away by Drexler. They're going to call a foul on Clyde Drexler. It'll be his first. 4th team foul. And a time. Down it comes to Porter. Blazers up by 3.
They want to get the ball to Duckworth because he's got a smaller Michael Cage on him, but they don't recognize it. 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Drexler puts it up from along the baseline, a little strong. Lister comes down with a rebound for Seattle. McMillan to Cage. Cage takes it over the rookie Bryant. Won't go for him. Drexler pulls away the rebound. Loose ball foul called underneath. That's the second of the game on Drexler.
To get the position.
McKey hits them both. He's got 5 in the game now, and it's a 1-point Portland lead. There's a steal by McKey, and he slams it home and drew the foul. Mark Bryant called for his second personal, and Seattle has grabbed the lead here. He now has 7 points, a chance for 8.
Well, they inbound the ball, and McKey is right there, and this is what you would call a stork jam. He just goes up and cranks it down real hard and looks at him on the way, and you see all the Sonics react, and that's some of the ability that McKey has.
McKey with 8 quick points in this first quarter, and Seattle now has a 2-point lead, 17-15. Just over 6 minutes to go, opening quarter. Porter's short jumper won't go. Rebound pulled away by Seattle. McMillan came out of the crowd with it. Fires it down to Ellis, who's got a quick release. His shot a little strong, though. Duckworth clears for the Blazers. Porter tried to get the pass to Bryant. It was stolen away. McMillan dishing off underneath, but McKey blew it, got his own rebound, and put it home. McKey with 10 points in this first quarter, and Seattle a 4-point lead now. Porter directing traffic as he brings it down for Seattle. Terry Porter out of Wisconsin, Stevens Point. There's a steal by Michael Cage. Off to Ellis. He's got the X-Man underneath. And McDaniel, who just checked into the game, gets his first 2.
Well, the Portland Trailblazers want a 20-second timeout because...
Rebound pulled away. by Seattle. Down to Derrick McKey. What a show he's putting on. The second-year man out of Alabama now has 10. It's a 23-15 lead.
Well, the natives are
falling behind by 8.
The natives are restless here, and what Portland has to do is now settle down, get themselves a good shot, find someone that's going to keep them in the ball game. Missed by Duckworth.
And they're only getting one shot at it. Seattle controlling the boards in this first quarter as well. McMillan off to the X-Man. McDaniel hits another one. He's got 4 points. And it's a 10-point lead now for the Sonics. They have run off 12 points in a row in this game. Porter trying to make something happen inside. His shot missed. Rebound comes off the floor. Picked up by Kersey. Layup wouldn't go for him. Ball is loose. Cage comes out of there with it. Out of bounds off Kersey. Ball belonged to Seattle. Some substitutions now for Portland. Danny Young checking in, along with Caldwell Jones, the veteran. Porter and Bryant sit down. (25-15), Seattle by 10. Just over 4 minutes to go in the opening quarter.
Portland hasn't had a lot of problems with the Sonics in their half-court game. It's been transition hoops that have created the lead for the Sonics as McDaniel works against the clock.
He just beat the clock and now has 6 points. A 12-point lead for Seattle. They're on a 14-0 run right now. Danny Young in his 5th year out of Wake Forest. Used to play with Seattle.
In these situations, they try to find Drexler. Seattle covers the play. Drexler can't keep the tip.
And a good effort there by Michael Cage, who was the NBA's leading rebounder a year ago. He's averaging just over 10 rebounds a game this year. Seattle has a chance to add to its lead. Just over 3 minutes to go. Look at that pass to McKey. He's got 12 in this first quarter. A 14-point Seattle lead, 29-15. And Portland's going to have to use another timeout here. They have got to get things turned around. Listen to the Blazer fans here in the Coliseum.
By the official vehicles of the NBA, Jeep and Eagle. Michael Jordan's free throw in the waning moments gives Chicago a 3-point lead. Can Seattle tie it up in the clutch? Trailing by 3 with 5 seconds to play. Seattle looks to Xavier McDaniel to tie it up in the clutch.
Here's McDaniel with a 3 up good with 1 second left.
You can expect the best from Jeep and Eagle.
Problem for them. They have not really done a good job of pressuring the ball, and when you don't, that allows a player like McKey to spin at the hoop, grabs it with 2 hands and drops it down. Big period for McKey. He's got 12. Portland needs a hoop now.
Down by 14, just over 3 minutes to go in this opening quarter. And we get a whistle away from the ball.
There's a guy that came to double team, and somehow Ellis ended up down below the free throw line as his man was out. Pressure by the Sonics.
They give it to Clyde underneath to Kersey. Kersey, the layup wouldn't go for him. This was a problem Portland had in its last game against the Knicks, missing layups. Xavier McDaniel now with 8 points since coming off the bench. And it's a 19-0 run now for Seattle. They lead it by 16.
Well, the thing that Portland has to take heart is that there's plenty of time in the ball game, and they can get back into the game a little at a time. Another air ball from Danny Young, and that's going to allow the Sonics another chance to run. Knocked away by Drexler.
Ball will still belong to Seattle with 2:23 to go. Kiki Vandeweghe checks into the Portland lineup. You can tell which side of the controversy the fans are on here in Portland, Steve.
No, it changes. It changes from moment to moment. And since they feel that the Lone Ranger just a barrage to ride in with hot guns blazing, that they like to see Vandeweghe, and we'll see if he can get started. He needs about 3 minutes to loosen up. Danny Young at the hoop.
And that ends a 19 consecutive point string, or does it? No.
Charge.
No basket. They're going to call a charge. So take away the basket, charge the foul instead to Danny Young.
Young had a huge game against his former teammates the last time there was Sonics in. Now, the Sonics played, and Bernie Bickerstaff felt that they did not have the intensity or the effort that they needed, and tonight they're out of the blocks real quick. McKey is the leader.
Rebound pulled away by Young. Portland Last scored a basket over 6 minutes ago. Drexler dishing off to Vandeweghe. See if he can hit his first opportunity. It's a little short. The X-Man pulls down the rebound for Seattle. The Sonics on a 19-0 run. They were trailing at one point, 15-12. They now lead at 31-15. Vandeweghe comes away with a rebound. Gives it right back to Young. Another little chip shot blown by the Blazers.
So when you talk about a team that's struggling, sometimes they don't realize where their offense or their money is. Nice pass from Ellis.
Cage got his own rebound. He was looking for a whistle against the Blazers. Didn't get it. Alton Lister checks back into the lineup along with Sedale Treat. McMillan and Cage sit down for Seattle. A minute 14 to go in this first quarter. Sonics up by 16. McKey, who's had an outstanding first quarter, finally missed a shot. Duckworth came away with a rebound. Drexler had it tipped away as he got into the traffic, and the loose ball goes out of bounds and belongs to Seattle. Ellis to Treat. Back to Dale Ellis. He's open along that baseline. Shot a little strong. Lister comes away with it. Strong move toward the hoop, and he drew the foul in there. 3 points. It's a 17-point Seattle lead. Another Portland miss. Another Seattle rebound. This time a Seattle turnover. Young lost the ball right back to Seattle.
Well, Kersey is one of the better competitors in the NBA, and he's chafing at the bit to get back in there and do his bit to see if he can help Portland get back in the ball game. Again, it is early in the ball game. Portland has plenty of time. What they've got to do is find the game and build some confidence off of that.
There's about a half-second difference in the shot clock and the game clock here in this first quarter. Treat launches one, won't go for him. Ellis from the baseline, little strong. McDaniel's tip no. McKey's tip no. And the horn sounds, ending the first quarter. And it's been a complete collapse in this first quarter by the Portland.
Have been in the past.
I would think, Steve, he'd have to be a little bit concerned about the way his team has shot layups the last couple of games, as well as defense.
I think that they feel better about their chances if they're shooting layups. You're always going to shoot a high percentage. They shot 56% and lost. Now, their percentage in this first period is down dramatically. They've been outscored 20-0, and defense is a big part of their game. Kersey works inside, finally breaks the string.
Boy, does that end a long drought for the Blazers. Jerome Kersey now with 6 points, 32-17. That ends a string of 20 straight Seattle points. And Dale Ellis answers with 3. He has 10.
Now the Trailblazers go small with Kersey and Vandeweghe, and when that lineup's out on the floor, you've got to make the opponents play. The quickness of Kersey and the ability of Vandeweghe to score has to really come into play for them to be a factor.
Only 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Porter's going to have to put it up from 3-point territory. Wouldn't go for him. And the rebound pulled away, and a good second effort by Sedale Treat. He fires it over to Ellis, back out to McKey. And the X-Man hits another one. He's got 10 points. McKey has 12. McDaniel has 10. Ellis has 10 for Seattle. Seattle leads it by 20.
You heard the explanation by Mike Schuler, and if you looked at the defensive pressure at the point of attack, you could see that Portland allowing the opponent to move the ball and move people freely as Vandeweghe outside.
Vandeweghe's first basket of the night. Since getting back into action after all the back problems he had, Vandeweghe averaging 12 points a game. But he's not happy, as he mentioned, with his playing time.
Well, you know what Houseman used to say, the old-fashioned way, you earn it, and he's got to come out and earn his opportunity. McKey over the top, they get the whistle. This much daylight, he is going to be dangerous and deadly, and that was an easy 2 for him.
Derrick McKey at the line. He hit somebody from the fans in the stands. Could have come down and hit one, and Mike Schuler would have applauded it. 38-19, 19-point lead. Duckworth tries to get something going inside. Count the basket, and he drew the foul. He now has 4. Alton Lister committing his first.
The hub of the Trailblazer offense in the last season and a half has become Kevin Duckworth, and when Duckworth gets a chance to work one-on-one, he is as good as anybody in the NBA. He gets the three-point play, and again, what Portland has to remember is there's plenty of time. They're down 16. They would realistically like to be within 6 or 8 points at the intermission and demonstrating some sort of control in this game.
McKey
out of control.
Duckworth took a tumble. Derrick McKey called for his first. Caldwell Jones checks in now, replacing Kevin Duckworth. On the scoreboard, you saw Atlanta with a 5-point lead over Cleveland at the half.
And when your offense is working well, your defense always works a lot better. McDaniel trying to make a steal, reaches around and picks up the personal, but you'll watch every one of those guys in green is now up and aware of where the ball is, and they're trying to attack and get the easy opportunity.
Comes out to Vandeweghe. He swings it over to Young, and Young hits it. Young's first points of the night against
play by Porter.
15-point lead now. Caldwell Jones with his first points of the night. McDaniel, quick release over Vandeweghe. The X-Man is on fire in this first half. He has 17 points.
Well, X is coming off a 36-point ball game the last time out, and he's finally adjusted to being the fireman, and he knows he's going to get opportunities, and tonight his eyes are on the hoop, and he has responded.
Kersey giving to Vandeweghe. His shot off the glass, no. Jones follows, no. Rebound comes off to Seattle. McMillan fires it down to the X-Man. He'll walk. Take away the basket. He traveled before the shot. Dale Ellis checks back in along with Derrick McKey, and the X-Man's going to get a breather now. He sits down with 17 points.
9 of those 17 in this period of play, so he's been on fire. Drexler goes to the scoring table, and that will be a change in Portland's lineup.
Vandeweghe with McKey on him.
Well, Danny Young's done the right thing every time Vandeweghe's had the ball. He's drifted to the corner. That is 6 in a period for him.
And a 15-point lead for Seattle. We are midway through quarter number 2. McMillan looks inside to Ellis. He sends it back out to McMillan. Now to McKey. And McKey tips his own miss. Missed that one as well. Rebound comes off to Porter, and the Trailblazers on the run now. Kersey had it tipped by McKey. Loose ball picked up by Cage to Ellis. He sends it across to Derrick McKey. McKey will bring it back out. Now feeds McMillan, who had it dribble off his fingertips into the arms of Caldwell Jones. So the turnover gives the ball back to Portland.
Vandeweghe at the basket. Good pass from Terry Porter.
Vandeweghe now with 4 points, and it's a 13-point Seattle lead. They led by 17 when the quarter began. Portland trying to whittle away at that.
Well, they want to take advantage of this mismatch of at the other end with McKey against Vandeweghe, and if you're Portland, then you got to come back and make Derrick McKey guard Vandeweghe, who has great offensive ability himself.
McKey averaging just under 15 points a game, already has 15 in this one. Kersey was fouled as he went toward the basket. Alton Lister's second. Jerome Kersey out of the tiny college, Longwood College in Virginia, goes to the line. Clyde Drexler is back in for Portland. Kersey will be in the NBA slam dunk competition along with Clyde Drexler. We'll be seeing that on TBS All-Star Weekend from Houston. Kersey now with 8. 47-34. A 13-point Seattle lead. Ellis from three-point territory buries another one. That's his third three-point basket of the night. He has 13 points. And that gets the Seattle lead back up to 16.
Well, the daylight was there that Kersey wanted. Going to try penetration again. Gets this one to go.
Kersey has 6 points in the quarter, 10 in the game. It's a 14-point lead by Seattle with 4:04 remaining. Olden Polynice checks in for the first time for Seattle. Kevin Duckworth in for Jerome Kersey for Portland.
With Polynice in, Portland would like to go to Duckworth as soon as they're able to get him warm. Ellis over the top.
Boy, he can be deadly. Dale Ellis now with 15 points. He has 15. McKey has 15. McDaniel has 15. Those three have outscored Portland by 9. Vandeweghe dishing off to Drexler. Missed the slam, but got fouled on an air. Polynice got him his first.
Kiki's done a good job of finding the open man. Drexler's at the iron. He cocks the hammer, but lost the ball. Picks up the personal foul. He's 1 of 2 the last time. That's the best he can do this time around.
Drexler going back to Houston, where he was such a big collegiate star, going back this time as an NBA All-Star. And looking forward to it. He has 8 points. 52-38. A 14-point lead by Seattle. 3.5 minutes to go in this first half. Ellis finally missed one. Rebound comes off to Portland. Vandeweghe moved toward the hoop. Another blown layup by the Blazers. And the ball goes over to Seattle, much to the chagrin of the crowd here, and to that man, Mike Schuler. Seattle get that lead back up to 17 points again. That's what it was at the end of the first quarter.
Again, they come back to the matchup. McKee against Vandeweghe. This time he can't hit. Good outlet pass to Danny Young.
Young takes it in for the layup. Young has 8 points, all of them coming in this quarter. And it's a 13-point lead. McMillan works against Young. Reverse layup, no good. And that tip went in somehow.
Well, Drexler's the guy that tipped it in. We'll see who they give it to. They give it to Cage. Another one of those being in the right spot at the right time. Duckworth.
4 points tonight, Cage has, and he hasn't shot either one of them. Duckworth with 5 in the quarter, 7 in the game. 54-41. Seattle by 13. McKee now has 17 points. And the lead is up to 15 again. It's been the McKee, McDaniel, Ellis show for Seattle in this first half.
So they still have a big 3. Drexler over the top. Chases his miss.
And the clock will be stopped here with 2:13 remaining in quarter number 2. Seattle, since that 20-0 run in the first quarter, has been able to maintain a very comfortable lead over Portland.
Hey, you talk about playground legends. You got to bring up a guy named Lamar Mundane. I seen him just rain jump shots on people. 4, 5, 6 shots in a row. People just started calling me Money. Because when he shot, it was money in the bank. He come down and shoot a 15-footer, everybody on the side be hollering, layup. Slam dunks are tough. But when a 35-footer come raining out the sky, it'll wire you up.
When the new legends are made, they'll be wearing Reeboks.
Tickets for Webb.
We interrupt this purchase for a reminder.
Here we go.
There's another decision worth entertaining.
Very smart.
Choosing the card that actually pays you cash. Cash back for every charge. The Discover card.
I'm starving.
It pays to Discover, the card that pays you back.
Here's why these members of the United States ski team prefer Alka-Seltzer Plus cold medicine.
I came down with some mean cold symptoms. I was congested, I was tired, I couldn't breathe through my nose. I took Alka-Seltzer Plus and it helped to remove those cold symptoms.
I've got a number of guys that are depending on me, and I have to be out there the next day. And Alka-Seltzer Plus really helps me do that.
Alka-Seltzer Plus cold medicine. Fast, effective relief for tough winter colds. Try Alka-Seltzer Plus nighttime cold medicine to relieve your cold at night.
Dale Ellis is a player who doesn't need but just a sliver of daylight to get the shot away, and Clyde Drexler gives him a truckload of room, and this is an easy opportunity for Ellis for three, and Ellis could be the first player, even though it's early in the season, to shoot 50% from the three-point line and from the field. And Ellis says in this quote, I'm going to do what I do best, score, and then that means the other guy won't be able to score quite so well.
Well, we'll see. We've got a lot of time left. Vandeweghe finds himself open. Halftime, Ellis was the late party getting over. Vandeweghe has 6 points in this quarter. It's a 13-point lead. Derrick McKey, what a first half he has had. 19 points in the game for Derrick McKey.
And really
leads it by 15.
More than anything else, as they find Vandeweghe at the iron, he misses. Duckworth gets the rebound. Whenever McKey has had these kinds of ball games, then the Sonics have really played terrific basketball, and they've got themselves a tremendous start tonight.
Don't forget, coming up at halftime, our Prudential halftime report. Craig Sager will be in our Atlanta studios. He'll have news from around the league, scores and highlights from the other games, plus tonight a feature on Maurice Lucas. All coming up at halftime.
Well, Pete, Dennis Phoenician, our man with the numbers, he's on his job tonight. 16 of 23 field goals from inside 15 feet for the Sonics. So, hey, that will get a lot of business done.
There's the man you'll be seeing our halftime feature on. Maurice Lucas, an assistant coach here with the Portland Trail Blazers. Duckworth now with 8 points on the night, 58-44. Seattle by 14, and just over a minute and a half to go in this first half. The X-Man had his shot blocked that time. Caldwell Jones blocking to Porter to Vandeweghe. Vandeweghe's drive is blocked right back by Michael Cage.
Well, the shot block is the last line of defense, and both times we see it come to the front. First with Jones. Cage makes a nice save. Portland has it back 17 seconds on the shot clock. And again, they need to demonstrate some consistent offense. One of their hubs has been Duckworth, and he hasn't really had many chances tonight.
Less than 10 seconds now on the shot clock. There's a jumper by Kevin Duckworth that goes for him. He's got 10. And the lead is down to 12 points now. Seattle had it up to 17 at one point. Portland has cut it down to 12. 1 minute to go in the second quarter.
Ellis gets a lot of screens. This time he does not catch and shoot, and they come back the other way. And what they need is some pressure against McKey, left hand.
That one wouldn't go. Duckworth the rebound. Porter just able to control it near midcourt. And there's a turnover, giving it right back to Seattle. The X-Man walked, though. Play a little sloppy on both ends of the court on that particular exchange.
Porter was trying to squeeze it through, and the defense for Sonics has been reacting well to the ball all night long.
Vandeweghe gets a breather now. Jones out to Porter. Just 30 seconds left in the quarter. Just 12 seconds left on the shot clock. Duckworth beginning to warm up. He is bringing Portland back into this game. 10 in the quarter, 12 on the night for Duckworth. A 10-point lead now. A 20-second timeout's going to be taken here by Seattle. They'll try to set up a final shot. There's a 3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock right now. 16 seconds left in the first half, 13 seconds left on the shot clock. There you see the trouble Portland has had trying to battle back from behind. Only 2 wins in 15 games when they've been behind at the half.
Pete, we're in trouble if we let them see that. You know, that means we got no game in the second half.
I'll tell you something that they aren't used to seeing here very often either, is this team on any kind of a home court losing streak. The last time a Portland team lost as many as 3 games in a row at home, you have to go all the way back to the 85-86 season, the February of '86. But if Portland loses this game tonight, that'll be 3 straight home losses, something they just don't very often do in their history.
Well, this was a big home stand for them. They had 6 games in a row, and they expected to make a little move, and so far it has been depressing. The fact that they lost a close game to Utah, then had a big advantage over the New York Knicks, and now find themselves under the gun against the Sonics.
Terry Porter called for his first foul. Only 10 seconds remaining. You see the time left.
With Ellis, you want him to put the ball on the floor. They find McDaniel, who's been hot. That's 11 in the period.
And 19 in the game for the X-Man. A 12-point lead. See if Portland can fire one up here at the buzzer. They do, but it falls short. And at halftime, it is Seattle with a comfortable 12-point lead. Seattle 60, Portland 48 at the half.
The fact that every Eagle interior delivers unsurpassed room is pretty important. But there's another benefit worth listening to.
When we played for Oakland, we did not appreciate losing.
Our motto was, just win, baby.
Yeah, but now we just like to play a quiet game of pool and drink a few cold Miller Lights. Lights brewed from the ground up, so it tastes great.
Not like some watered-down version of a regular beer.
Your turn, Otis.
Hey, you cheated. So, nice shot.
When it's Miller Lite, less filling, tastes great.
The Cleveland Cavaliers have the best record in the NBA. They are in Atlanta tonight. With the last time these two teams met, the Hawks lost by 26. Highlights of that and several other games next on the Prudential Halftime Report.
Hey, we talk about playground legends. You gotta bring up a guy named Lamar Mundane. I seen him just rain jump shots on people. 4, 5, 6 shots in a row. People just started calling him Money. Because when he shot, it was money in the bank. He'd come down and shoot a 15-footer, everybody on the side be hollering, layup. Slam dunks are tough. But when a 35-footer come raining out the sky, it'll wire you up.
When the new legends are made, they'll be wearing Reeboks.
We go above and beyond just like you, above and beyond what we have to do, caring for what's special to you.
I'm a Prudential representative, and what's really important to me when I go into someone's home is to help them save money on their homeowner's insurance, because I know I'm a homeowner too.
Taking care to protect what's important to you, the Rock, the Prudential, above and beyond.
Last week, us Fritos rustlers came upon a whole new breed, ranch Fritos. They looked real wild, but they was actually sort of mild. Shoot, one even let Luke pet it. These wild and mild ranch Fritos have a creamy ranch flavor. No Fritos rustler can resist. But keep that under your hat, partner. New wild and mild ranch flavor Fritos corn chips. Rustle up some.
The Prudential Halftime Report is brought to you by the companies of the Prudential, meeting your needs in investments, insurance, and real estate. Come to the Prudential and build your future on the Rock.
If you haven't taken the Cleveland Cavaliers seriously by now, it's time you start. Going into tonight's game against Atlanta, the Cavs are the best shooting team in the league, have given up the fewest total points, and easily have the best record in the league, 30-7. They got the Atlanta Hawks' attention early, going on a 9-2 run to start the game. Larry Nance with the rebound in the basket, the Hawks trailing by 7. But the Hawks came back. Dominique Wilkins keyed a good defensive effort underneath the basket, stealing the ball from Brad Daugherty, who had grabbed the rebound, puts it in. The Hawks take the lead for the first time, 22-20. Hot Rod Williams goes in over John Koncak, gets the basket. Cleveland goes back up, but then the Hawks clamp down defensively. Nice pass from Doc Rivers to Dominique Wilkins for the basket. Dominique had 17 points in the first half. The Hawks are holding on to the lead 68-65 as they now begin the fourth quarter. Denver is at New Jersey. The Denver Nuggets have not been playing well on the road all year. Missing here, John Bagley to Buck Williams. The Nets go on top 18-14. And then a short time later, Alex English gets the hot hand, drives in for a basket as Denver tries to cut the lead. Michael Adams has yet to hit a three-pointer. Remember, he has made one in 79 straight games, but he has been cold lately. He was just 1 out of 7 last night. Dallas and Chicago. Michael Jordan gets the call, but misses the shot from the outside. Horace Grant follows it up, slams it through. The Bulls take the early lead. Next time down again. Grant again misses. Michael Jordan can't get the steal, and a fast break for Dallas. And these two teams are separated by just a point in the first quarter, 25-24. Miami is playing at Houston, where Rory Sparrow, one of the two captains for the Miami Heat, a nice drive in, dishes it off to Billy Thompson. Miami has the lead. Sleepy Floyd to Akeem Olajuwon. What a great center he is. Gets the basket and the foul. However, Miami is on top by 2 after one period, 24-22. There are 3 other games later on tonight. Charlotte, one of the expansion teams, is playing at Phoenix. The New York Knicks are taking on the LA Lakers. Now remember, New York has lost only once at home all year. That was a game earlier this year to the Lakers. The Lakers are 17-0 at home. Here's a chance for New York to spoil that perfect mark by the Lakers. The other game later tonight is Milwaukee at Sacramento. After tonight, Sacramento goes on a 7-game road trip. Further down the road, Phoenix will travel to Miami April 19th. That's to make up for that game canceled by last week's rioting in downtown Miami. We'll be back with our Player of the Week and a leading candidate for the next Player of the Week, Herb Williams.
In all, 25 of them at Denver's end of the court. Williams also had 21 points to lead the Pacers to a 117-102 win over the Nuggets. His previous career high for rebounds was 17. The NBA record, by the way, is 55 rebounds in a game, set by Wilt Chamberlain back in 1960. The Golden State Warriors have been hot as of late, and the player igniting the recent 8-game winning streak is Chris Mullin, our Player of the Week. Mullin averaged 27 points, 7 rebounds, and over 6 assists in the 4 games played last week. He's also on a string of 36 consecutive free throws in a row. One of the leading candidates for Rookie of the Year continued his solid play last night. Willie Anderson scored 26 points and added 9 assists to lead San Antonio to an easy win over Miami. Anderson is averaging 19 points per game and is shooting 53.3%, the highest shooting percentage among rookies.
We'll be back with a story on the enforcer, not Clint Eastwood, Maurice Lucas.
We go above and beyond just like you, above and beyond what we have to do.
I'm a Prudential representative. When I talk to people about CDs and mutual funds, they're surprised at the wide range of investment opportunities I can offer.
You work hard, so do we, to make what you've worked for a reality. The Rock, the Prudential, above and beyond.
The Prudential Halftime Report has been brought to you by the companies of the Prudential, meeting your needs in investments, insurance, and real estate. Come to the Prudential and build your future on the Rock.
Some of the most important moving parts in the Honda Accord sedan weren't designed by Honda engineers. It takes a pretty big car to say that.
Helmets working primarily with their younger big men.
Because a lot of times I get in situations where, coaches don't really understand what you're doing, why you do that. But Luke can see the reason why, because he'd been in a situation before, like last year or whatever, and he can kind of see it from my point of view.
The coach has been helping me out a great deal also with the big man moves. Whereas in college, where I could just overpower my man, in the NBA, the players are so strong, you got to use some type of move to get them off balance and get the easy two.
As a player, Lucas studied other NBA stars and learned from them. He is now trying to use that same philosophy in working with Kevin Duckworth.
So what I try to do with Duckworth is I found a player who he plays similar to. He's bigger, he's heavier, as quick, but he doesn't have the background knowledge of the game that a Wes Unseld had. If he utilizes those tapes to really perfect his game, I think he'll be a much better player.
Looking at some of Wes Unseld tapes, I can see he wasn't a great leaper, but he was the kind of guy that can get body position and get bored.
Well, I wouldn't specifically recommend that anyone study my old films for anything. Kevin Duckworth is one of the new, young, talented centers in this league. I don't think right now he probably has the toughness of, say, a Maurice Lucas, but hopefully with the chance of working with Maurice, those things will come.
The Blazers could probably use Maurice Lucas tonight. In fact, they could probably use Steve Jones, who's sitting by now with Pete Van Weeren. Gentlemen?
That's all we need to do, Craig, is to start a new rumor here that Steve's about to return to the playing ranks. But really the whole story of this game so far can be pretty much summed up. Steven had one stretch of over 9 minutes in that first quarter when Seattle outscored Portland.
Well, you know, it's the truth of the game. If you can't score, you can't win. And the Trailblazers went 9 minutes, 10 seconds before they got a basket and got themselves in a hole. They've been trying to dig their way out, but it's really been the Seattle Sonics that have taken care of all of the business. And if you look for cause and effect, it would be the awareness of the Sonics defensively, forcing Portland away from what they wanted to do. Portland's defense allowing the Sonics really to get themselves in good offensive areas to score, you know, and that will hurt you every time with good offensive players. Derrick McKey got off the mark very quickly, had a huge first half, and brought some friends with him, and that made a difference. But anytime you've got players with mobility that can run the floor, can make a lot of things happen. McKey misses inside, but he'll stay after it and finally put it in.
He had 19 points in that first half.
You're going to get some good results. Xavier McDaniel does exactly what you expect a player to do off the bench, make a contribution, particularly at the offensive end, since that's one of his strong areas. And whenever he's right in that area there, facing a basket or turning around jump shot, he's going to be deadly.
He, too, had 19 points.
The Trailblazers are a team that like to get inside opportunities. They prefer to get them off transition, but they also like this kind. Vandeweghe, one of the best finishers in the NBA, misses that chance, as does Caldwell Jones, and that pretty much sums up the first half. But we know in the NBA it takes 2 halves to win a ball game. The Sonic shooting percentage is nothing to glow about, even with the big advantage. The rebounds are almost even. Turnovers are close. So where's the ball game? 9 minutes and 10 seconds. That's where it is.
That's right.
And that could happen to the other team as well.
In fact, only 5 members of the Seattle team have scored those 60 points. McKey and McDaniel each with 19, as we mentioned. Dale Ellis has 15. Michael Cage 4 and Alton Lister 3. Portland led by Kevin Duckworth, who got most of his points late in the second quarter. Perhaps that's a good sign for the Trailblazers for the second half. Jerome Kersey also chipped in with 10. Clyde Drexler has been kind of quiet tonight. 8 points, and 7 of those came very early in the first quarter.
Well, Drexler got off the mark, but again, if you look at opportunities, Drexler did not have many chances to shoot the ball. 7 field goals, and in order to be in double figures, he would have had to got them all. So you got to look for him to be more involved in the offense, and he's one of those players in the NBA where he can explode for big numbers, anywhere from 10 to 20 in a period, and change the complexion. Trapped by the Sonics.
And Bryant, the rookie out of Seton Hall, comes up short on the first shot attempt of the second half. Cage the rebound. Off to Ellis. Ellis traveled. It is Ellis, McKey, Lister, McMillan, and Cage on the court for Seattle. Porter, Bryant, Kersey, Duckworth, and Drexler for the Blazers.
Looking for Drexler inside, knocked away by Dale Ellis. One of the things against a good offensive player, you want to make him play some defense, and Ellis can be guilty of getting in foul trouble if you put some offensive pressure on him.
Drexler works now against Lister. McKey comes over. That leaves Duckworth unprotected, but he missed the short jumper. Rebound out of bounds off Portland. Seattle gets it. A 12-point lead. Neither team has scored yet in this third quarter, and we're about a minute into it. It goes down low to Ellis. He got the basket to fall and drew the foul. So Dale Ellis now with 17 points and a chance for 18. He was fouled by Drexler. That's 3 now on Clyde Drexler.
Ellis, one of the best post-up guards in the league. He used to be a forward at Tennessee, and whenever he can get in there, he can create some problems, get the three-point play.
He now has 18. He has 18. McDaniel and McKey 19 apiece for Seattle. They have been the 3 guns in the Seattle attack tonight.
Coming to Drexler against Michael Cage.
Kersey works against Lister, got around him, but the shot off the glass missed again. Boy, Portland's had a lot of missed layups tonight. Same thing that happened to them in their last game against the New York Knicks. Seattle up by 15 with 10:40 remaining in this third quarter. Cage going to be called for the offensive foul.
Good defensive reaction by Jerome Kersey, and Cage is a kind of player like Dale Ellis. You want them to put the ball on the floor before they try to shoot it. He tried to penetrate. Offensive foul.
Blazers still looking for their first points of this third quarter, and there they are. Clyde Drexler now with 10 points in the ball game. And Seattle's lead, a 13-point lead again with just over 10 minutes to go in the third. McKey off the glass, a little strong. Rebound pulled away by Mark Bryant. Porter with 12 seconds left on the shot clock gives it off to Drexler. Kersey will take it from the top of the circle. That one wouldn't go. Lister clears for Seattle. Ellis looks inside, finds McKey, but McKey can't hang on. Duckworth picks off the loose ball to Porter. Porter dishing off to Drexler, and his jumper is a dead one. He now has 12. It's now an 11-point lead. And Seattle wants to talk things over here before this big lead gets away from them. They're up by 11 with 9:25 to go in the third.
Only the best make it to the NBA, and that's true for NBA Authentics, the clothing and equipment selected for use on the court. The same products we use in the NBA. Go with NBA Authentics and go with the best. NBA Authentics are available at sporting goods stores everywhere, or for gift catalogs and one.
Portions of tonight's game are brought to you by Honda, who invite you to test drive the Accord LX four-door sedan at your local Honda dealer, and by MasterCard and MasterCard International. Master the possibilities.
Mentally, that's the part that I'm going to have to deal with, knowing that there are going to be games that I'm going to be struggling. My shots, my timing, just getting back into the flow of playing the game of basketball. And if I can deal with the frustrations that come along with the advancement of my game, I think I'll be all right. But I'm going to have some tough times my first couple games out there.
And Sam Bowie is apparently very close to being ready to return now. Could be any day.
Sam Bowie is very close to returning. You could probably expect him sometime around the first or second week in February. But in the current affairs that the Trailblazers are in, that's a lot like asking Superman to fly with kryptonite.
I was about to say, what will that do to the playing time equation here at Portland? 9:25, our time left in the third quarter. Portland has cut that Seattle lead down. Seattle had it up to 17 at one point.
Well, Portland is in the ball game now. They haven't had any control in this game, but they are in the ball game, and what they've got to do is continue to force tough tries at the defensive end for the Sonics, and they get a good break there because Ellis was right at the basket.
And Seattle's turnover is beginning to hurt them a little bit now. The Blazers making a run at them. Terry Porter with his first basket of the night. That cuts it down to a 9-point lead. Just under 9 minutes to go in the third.
In a game that they played earlier this year up in Seattle, the Sonics had a huge lead, and Portland got all the way back but couldn't go over the hill. Bryant's going to get a goaltend on that penetrating try by McMillan. That's his first 2 of the night.
And it gets the lead back up to 11 points for Seattle.
Drexler at the basket, but it's stolen.
Some of those long passes tonight have gone into the opponent's arms on both sides. Cage out to McMillan. McKey almost traveled. Ellis with that quick release. He hasn't been able to warm up yet in this third quarter. Portland can get it back to a 9-point lead again. Duckworth.
Well, he's got to play. He stops play, and that leaves Porter wide open, but he can't catch.
Loose ball picked off by McMillan. And now Seattle can build that lead back up to 13. Lister works against Duckworth. And Alton Lister now has 5 points, and Seattle's got that lead back up to 13 with 7:50 remaining in the third. Bryant takes the jumper over Cage and hits it. Mark Bryant, rookie out of Seton Hall, with his 4th point. Portland down by 11. You can really see the versatility of Derrick McKey.
McMillan with the tip. So when Portland does force a tough try, they've been able to get a second chance. Drexler right back.
Drexler now has 14.
6 in the period.
Ernie Bickerstaff really loving the versatility of a player like Derrick McKey. He can play at any one of 4 spots in the court. Come out and help out at guard, or he can go underneath and play big man.
On top of that, I think he likes his intellectual attitude about the game. A smart player. Kersey can't control, but he'll get to the line.
So it'll be Jerome Kersey going to the free throw line. Nate McMillan called for his second personal. That'll give us a chance to remind you that this program is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the National Basketball Association solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent. Cage puts it up. Lister keeps it alive, then pulls it down. Outside McMillan. The X-Man comes up short. Another Lister rebound. McMillan going through the lane, count the basket, and he'll go to the line. So the Sonics were given 3 opportunities there, and they finally cashed in on number 3.
Multiple opportunities will stab you right in the heart as McMillan comes right down the lane. No one stops him. He's at the basket. Kersey Duckworth picked up the personal foul. That's his second.
And McMillan completes the 3-point play.
McMillan, who didn't score in the first 2 periods, now has 7 in the period to be the big player in the second half for the Sonics. Bryant off the glass. Nice move by the rookie, Mark Bryant. He now has 6. It's a 10-point lead. McMillan, who's also dished off 7 assists on the night, brings the ball down, gives to McKey. McKey had it slapped away, came right back to him, though. Now McMillan tries one from just inside the 3-point line. Missed, cleared by Bryant, who rifles it, trying to hit Drexler at midcourt, and Drexler got fouled by McMillan. That's 3 now on Nate McMillan. Every player looks for a coming out party, and this might be the one for Mark Bryant. He has not really been able to play in a critical part of the ball game in which he's been a factor. Tonight might be the night. They look for Drexler inside.
And with all sorts of green jerseys around him, Drexler couldn't get that shot to go.
Lister.
That's 3 now on Alton Lister. 3rd team foul. Ball still belongs to the Blazers. 5:38 to go in the third. Seattle leading it by 10. Porter loops it down to Kersey along the baseline. His shot was partially blocked. The tip by Bryant was missed, and Lister is going to tie him up for a jump ball.
Well, you know, when you talk about Mark Bryant, a lot of people talk about him in the sense of being one of those power forwards of the future for the Trailblazers. He has the ability to run the floor, score inside. Kersey and McMillan. Now, why would you want this position right here anyway? The ball never tapped over to this side. And you know what I'm saying? Don't push me. You never see a ball tapped back anymore.
The officials hoping cooler heads will prevail here tonight. These two teams got in a battle first game they met this year. Steve Johnson and Michael Cage were the two that got into it back then.
Lane violation against Jerome Kersey.
Steve Johnson has not played tonight, but he too is having an injury problem, trouble with his right ankle. But he's also a player on this Portland team that has been unhappy with his number of minutes.
You look at the lineup right now, they have McKey, McDaniel, Ellis, Cage, and McMillan in the ball game. So they've got a small, quick team in. McKey will undoubtedly be in the middle.
Porter left unguarded, hits the jumper. Terry Porter has 4 points, all coming in his third quarter. And the Blazers have cut Seattle's lead to 8 with 5 minutes to go in the third.
As we said before, with the Sonics only shooting 46% and breaking down here in the third period, Portland has a chance to get back. But with those kind of shots going, that'll hold you at bay. McDaniels continue to shoot well.
He now has 21 on the night. The lead back up to 10. You see the time left. Kersey goes coast to coast. He has 14. It's an 8-point lead, and a timeout will be taken here by Seattle. 4:36 remaining in the third. The crowd coming to life here at the Coliseum as Portland begins to close.
Although copiers are getting more and more sophisticated every day, their copies will never be as good as the original.
I'm known for my gentle and charming disposition. So when Ernie here ran out of Miller Lite, I didn't get mad. Nah. We calmly discussed the situation. I told Ernie I'd drink light because it's brewed from the ground up so it tastes great. Not like some watered-down version of a regular beer. We reached an understanding, and he quickly rectified the situation. Mom always said I had a way with people.
When it's Miller Lite, less filling, tastes great.
Kersey has the ability to play above the rim. He doesn't quite get there, but he certainly causes some concern for Bernie Bickerstaff, and he'll be part of the All-Star weekend coming up.
Yes, it'll be Jerome Kersey and Clyde Drexler off this Portland team, both in the slam dunk contest. It all begins Friday night, February 10th, with the All-Star weekend party. And then Saturday, the slam dunk and the three-point shootout. And the Legends game.
Daniel down on the box. He likes to turn around jump shot. Doesn't get it away.
McKey from the top of the circle. He has 21. And it's a 10-point lead again for Seattle.
Well, you know, the question about the Legends game is how many shots Rick will get off.
Rick very concerned because some of the players in that Legends game are getting a little younger.
Not a little, a lot. Porter for 3.
A little strong with it. McDaniel the rebound. Nate McMillan. And Seattle tries to get that lead back up to 12 points. Make it 13 if Ellis hits the three-pointer. It doesn't go for him. Duckworth the rebound. Had it tipped away, but the loose ball controlled by Terry Porter in Portland. Comes back out to Drexler. He tries one from 3. First three-pointer of the night for Clyde Drexler. He now has 17. It's a 7-point lead.
9 in the period, so Drexler has gotten involved offensively.
McKey works against Kersey. That one wouldn't go. Rebound is loose, out of bounds, belongs to Portland. We've got us a ball game. Portland with a chance to whittle it down to 5 now, or 4 with a three-pointer. Terry Porter walks the ball to the front court. Drexler couldn't find the shot there. Got it out instead to Jerome Kersey, who hits from the top of the circle. He now has 16. The lead all of a sudden is only 5 points, in Seattle calling another timeout with 2:40.
And he's just one of the many big men that the Trailblazers have on this team.
He is nursing a bad right ankle right now. McMillan. McDaniel. The Seattle Sonics have cooled off. The Blazers are heating up and can close it to a 3-point game if they can score on this trip.
Well, they got Duckworth inside against a smaller man, but he lost his balance.
And they just lost the ball, but it was last touched by the Sonics. So it'll still belong to Portland. Now Sedale Treat checks back into the Seattle lineup. Nate McMillan takes a seat. The hands that were so hot for Seattle in the first half have really cooled off. Atlanta trying to pick up a big win over Cleveland. Has a lead right now. Drexler couldn't get that one to go, and we're going to get a foul called against Portland.
Shot selection and a comeback is everything, and that was not the best shot selection by Drexler. They were looking inside for Duckworth, and the defense wouldn't allow the pass inside. He decided to pull the trigger, and the Sonics will get it back as we take a look at the Wendy's scoreboard.
Less than 2 minutes to go now in this third quarter. A 5-point Seattle lead. And Mike Mathis whistle away from the ball. They called it against the rookie Mark Bryant. That's 3 on him. Danny Young checks in. Terry Porter sits down now for Portland. Treat brings it out. A minute 45 to go in the third. Nice give and go. Back to Ellis. Shot was blocked. Portland with a 3-on-1. Now a 4-on-1. Drexler puts it home and drew the foul.
Well, the Trailblazer break was tilting on the right side. Good penetration, better defensive play by the Trailblazers. Starts it. Now you see 2 big guys on the right side, and here comes the reindeer, and Drexler takes the shot from 3, and with good control rolls it in. He has a chance to get to 12 in the period, 20 on the night.
It is now a 3-point Seattle lead. It stays at 3. Drexler has missed 3 out of 5 from the free throw line tonight. That's unusual for him. A minute and a half to go in this third quarter. Jones is checked back into the lineup for Duckworth for Portland. Cage down low to McDaniel, and all sorts of traffic. He traveled. And now the Blazers can get it to within 1 or tie it with a 3-pointer.
And notice the defensive pressure by Portland has been better this half. Most of the shots they have been taking are over the top. They're going to get a foul against Sedale Treat. Should be a shooter for the Trailblazers with Danny Young coming to the line with a minute 12 left in the period. And when it goes bad, it seems to break down in almost every department. We saw that for Portland in the first period of play. Nothing they could do right. It's happened here in the third period with the Sonics.
There you see the Blazers on a little run of their own here.
Payback, you know it. It hurts.
At the line, Danny Young, his first trip there tonight. He's an 80% shooter from the free throw line in the year. It is now a 2-point Seattle lead. And now it's a 1-point game. So the Blazers, who are down once by 17, have battled back to within 1. Just over a minute to go in the third. So now Treat back out to McKey. McKey almost had it stolen, almost lost it on his own.
Notice how tentative they've become. This one comes over the top from McDaniel.
Kind of had to rush that shot. They were running out of time on the shot clock. Nice speed down to Drexler. He backs in against McDaniel, takes the jumper over the X-Man, can't get it to go, and Cage there with another rebound. That is 10 rebounds now for Michael Cage.
Well, the crowd can't understand why Drexler took that shot. It was a tough try, but he had the feeling, blocks the shot from Sedale Treat.
Jones the rebound off to Drexler. 4-second difference in the shot clock and the game clock. Now there are 8 seconds left in the shot clock. Now they're down to 5. Young off the glass, too strong. Oh, they thought that was the end of the quarter. It wasn't. That was the shot clock going off. Now the quarter ends. And Portland is battled back. So this game will be decided in quarter number 4, which is about to begin. Danny Young may be hurt.
Saturday, America's top-ranked wrestlers clash with the iron grip of the Soviet Union for the first time since the Summer Games in Seoul. Now, 2 teams responsible for 14 Olympic medals collide again. It's the battle of wrestling superpowers on U.S. Olympic Gold, a TBS Sports exclusive. 6:05 Eastern on the Superstation Saturday.
Sir, would you choose hamburger A Wendy's hamburger that's made fresh, or hamburger B that's pre-made so it sits around?
A B, because it sits around. I'm a trucker, and I need something made for the long haul, and that baby looks like it'd hang around for 6, maybe 7 stays.
But wouldn't the fresh Wendy's hamburger taste better?
It might, but I can eat this B burger in Shaky Town and still be tasting it in Salt Lake.
Most people prefer the taste of fresh hamburgers, like Wendy's, the best burgers in the business.
Attention, all men with noses. Introducing Schick Slim Twin Disposable. It's 28% slimmer than Good News to give you a close shave even in hard-to-reach places. New Schick Slim Twin, preferred by men who have noses.
Charge car rentals with the Gold Card and feel secure that the car and its contents are covered for loss and damage, and that you and your passengers are covered for personal injury, all at no extra charge. Reason alone to possess the Gold Card.
Tonight, Elliot Gould plays a deadly game of cat and mouse with a killer, the silent partner. 10:20 Eastern on the Superstation tonight.
Fourth quarter about to begin here at the Memorial Coliseum in Portland, Oregon. Seattle leading the Blazers by 1 point. But it's been a battle back for Portland. They were down by 17. Now Seattle has gone over 4 minutes without scoring a point. They went the last 4 minutes, 16 seconds of the third quarter.
And Pete, I keep asking, why would you want to be a coach in this league? You know, he had his team, Bickerstaff did, playing perfect basketball, and they went in at intermission, and everything he said got tuned off. We take a look at the percentages. See, the Sonics have come down. The Trailblazers have come up just a little bit. Everything is almost even. That reflects a 1-point ball game.
And that's what we've got going into the final quarter of play. McMillan, Ellis, McDaniel, Lister, and Threet on the court for Seattle. Ellis tried to get the ball to McMillan, went off the foot of a Sonic and belongs to Portland. The Blazers can now take the lead. They've got Vandeweghe back in there with Duckworth, Caldwell Jones, Terry Porter, and Danny Young.
The key in this ball game will be defensive pressure on the ball. Which team is going to be allowed to move the ball, move the people freely, get the opportunities that they want. They try to come through Duckworth to start the period.
Down to 5 seconds on the shot clock. Vandeweghe. Will they beat the shot clock? Porter just did. And Portland has the lead.
Well, the crowd feels better. After losing a 20-point lead, they know their team can come back.
And Seattle has gone ice cold from the field. Nobody with a hot hand for the Sonics right now. Porter somehow is able to stay in control, get it back out to Young. Jones trying to get it underneath to Vandeweghe. Tipped by Ellis, stolen by Lister, off to Threet.
Notice the Sonics had all kind of transition opportunities in the first half. They've been shut down in that category in the second half of play.
They're really having to work for their shots in the second half, and they've been forced to take a lot of bad shots. Down to 5 seconds again on the shot clock. And again, kind of a forced shot there.
Well, whenever you're shooting against the shot clock and you don't get the ball in the right people's hand, you're going to get a tough try to come up, and that's what Portland has been able to do. Vandeweghe, and they're going to get an offensive foul against Caldwell Jones.
That'll be the second call against Caldwell Jones. And Seattle gets the ball back. They're going to call a timeout. Seattle has not scored a point in this fourth quarter. They scored only 16 points in the third quarter. And they had a 17-point lead at 5 after a torrid first half.
Well, again, you notice how tentative they've become in what they're trying to do, and they're always against the shot clock. Ellis down on the box. He finally scored.
He now has 20 points on the night. That gives the lead back to Seattle.
When you're going good, that's called patience. And when you're going bad, that's called being tentative as they pressure Danny Young.
Young working against 3. Gives it off to Porter. All alone is Jones. There wasn't anybody within 5 feet of Caldwell Jones. You'll never get an easier basket than that. And Portland has the lead back by 1. Ellis got around Vandeweghe, runs into Duckworth as he got into the paint.
Because Ellis is so good at catching and shooting, people have a tendency to run at him, and that makes him a much better penetrator. And I think you have to continue to make Ellis beat you over the top, even though that's his strong suit, because anytime you can collapse the defense, that means someone else is going to get involved. This time Ellis gets to the iron, has a couple of free throws.
Duckworth, the first player in the game with 4 personals. 3 games of more than 40 points for Dale Ellis. 12 times he's gone over the 30-point level this year.
Well, you know who's been scalded. It's those people down in Dallas. Every time they read about Dale Ellis, they can't understand what's going on.
Dale with 22 points now. It's a 1-point lead again for Seattle. Clyde Drexler gives similar numbers.
Shot clock at 5.
Season. Off to Vandeweghe, only 2 seconds left to shoot it. Vandeweghe just beating the shot clock, and that's twice in the last few minutes that Portland has just beat the shot clock. Vandeweghe now has 8. Portland has the lead again by 1. Ellis trying to get a hot hand, comes up a little short. Duckworth the rebound, and a whistle out near midcourt. Xavier McDaniel called for his second.
Well, Xavier McDaniel wanted us to say hello to his mom and dad back in Wichita. And you'll see Vandeweghe does a good job of playing position defense against Ellis. And that's the kind of shot that Ellis will end up with if you just stay between him and the hoop.
Portland leading it by 1. Just over 8 minutes remaining in the game.
When he's going good, Ellis, that is, he's going to make those. And when he's having a tougher time, the shot's going to be tougher off Terry Porter's foot.
They were running out of time on the shot clock again. It was down to 4 seconds when they turned it over. A near steal by Young. Ellis gives it to 3. He'll take it from left of the circle and hit it. That is his first basket of the night. And the lead goes back to Seattle.
Now, with the pressure, Portland's got to look inside. They're doubling. That means someone's available. Caldwell Jones is right at the iron. They finally find him, but it's too late.
McMillan got a hand in, knocked it out of bounds. Derrick McKey checks back into the Seattle lineup. Dale Ellis sits down. Danny Young sits down. Clyde Drexler back in for Portland.
Remember, the idea of a trap or any kind of pressure is to create havoc for the offense, to hurry it up. Vandeweghe over the top. Drexler tips.
And Drexler now has 21 points. He's had 12 games of 30 points or more this season. And 5 times he's gone over the 40-point mark. Portland has a lead of 1. 7.5 minutes remaining. McMillan backing in against Porter. The defensive intensity of this game has really picked up as we've gotten into this final quarter. Both teams really having to work much harder for their shots.
Well, one team realizing they've lost a huge lead is now trying to belly up, and it's the last of the Alamo, and the other team realizes they got a chance to win. And so Portland is trying to make all of the shots from Seattle come from the perimeter. They get that one, but McKey gets a strong rebound and finishes.
Derrick McKey now with 23 on the night.
For Duckworth, who doesn't like to come out under any circumstances, he's going to have to sit for a few minutes. Now you'll see the long shot comes up, and McKey does a good job of sliding between Drexler and the hoop, and then beats everyone to the ball. Drexler can't knock it away, and he'll carry it back in and get the personal against Duckworth, and has a chance to give the Sonics a 2-point lead.
Duckworth has to sit down with 5 personals. 84-83 Seattle, just over 7 minutes to go. Vandaway bumped by McKey. And Derrick McKey will be called for his second personal. Second team foul here in the fourth quarter. Just over 7 minutes remaining.
Now they're giving Vandaway an isolation against McKey. Can't finish.
Vandaway short with the jumper. Lister clears for Seattle. Seattle can get that lead back up to 3 if they can score on this trip. The X-Man operates underneath, blocked out of bounds by Kersey. McMillan will inbounds it for the Sonics. Into McKey. McKey lost it, kept it alive though, and tipped it out to McDaniel.
Shot clock's at 7.
Now it's at 4. 3-point attempt by McKey. Big basket by Derrick McKey. He now has 26 points. That's his first 3-pointer of the night. He's only 6 away from his career high. Seattle has a 4-point lead. McKey called quickly for another personal. That's 3 on him now. Third team foul.
Well, there are good fouls and there are bad fouls. The bad fouls are when a player is totally under control and it's obvious he has no place to go in the offensive scheme. Again, they give Vandaway a clear side.
Drexler from the top of the circle. Way off the mark.
When Clyde lets one go like that, he lets all of the air out of the Coliseum. Everyone trying to understand what happened to that ball. It simply got away from him.
6 minutes to go in the game. Seattle up by 4. The X-Man sends it back out to McMillan. 5 seconds left on the shot clock.
Well, you've got Lister out there against the clock where you want him.
Cage follows, and he was fouled. So Michael Cage will go to the line. Vandaway called for his second personal. Elsewhere, that's a final now, New Jersey.
Well, did you notice the one thing? Michael Adams' streak of 3-pointers finally came to an end. Maybe it started last night. He was 1 for 7. Tonight he comes back. He's 0 for 6. But the Nuggets now have fallen on real hard time, most of it due to injuries. Their record is 20-20.
Cage hitting 1 of 2 from the line. The 5-point lead now for Seattle. Drexler off to Vandaway for 3. Vandaway in the double figures now. He has 11 points. And it's a 2-point game again. Porter is right on McMillan.
Portland lost their advantage by giving the Sonics second opportunities inside. And if they can really get themselves some easy chances to score, they may be able to get back in it. Here's one of them.
It's a 4-on-1 with Kersey going coast to coast. Missed the layup, but he did draw the foul. Nate McMillan called for his 4th personal. And Jerome Kersey, who has 16 points on the night, will go to the line.
You know, when you jump this high, sometimes it's hard to use the backboard, Kim Belton.
And has been a problem for the Blazers lately.
A problem for Jerome has been free throws in these kind of situations this year. Last year, he had an incredible season, seemed to deliver in almost every crisis and pressure situation. This year from the line, he has struggled.
He now is 4 out of 5. Make it 5 out of 6 from the line tonight. He has 17 points in the game. A 1-point Seattle lead.
That's McDaniel's spot, but he's short with that one.
Vandaway kept it alive, but the loose ball picked up by McMillan out near midcourt. Lister works against Jones. Too strong. Cage, another rebound. But he lost it trying to save it inbounds to Clyde Drexler. Off to Kersey. Kersey through the lane was hammered from behind by Lister.
The Sonics have stayed alive in this period with second efforts. They were not able to convert the last time down, and that allowed the
That is 8 points now for Cage. And it's 93-88 Seattle. There's your time remaining. Underneath Vandeweghe. Blocked from behind by McKey. Kersey missing the slam. McKey pulls away his 5th rebound of the night. Cage saves it near midcourt. Flips it over to Dale Ellis. Ellis traveled.
Well, they got them scrambling, and fortunately Ellis trying to get to the basket, shuffled the feet before he put the ball down.
Vandeweghe still on the court. He's gotten his minutes tonight, Steve.
He's responded. He's played pretty good. They like him in isolation right here. He comes over the top, and if anything has hurt Portland in their last 2 or 3 possessions, it's been shooting the ball quickly from the outside after one pass.
You see the time left. Cage sends it back to Derrick McKey, and McKey has 30. It's a 7-point lead again for Seattle. Less than 3 minutes to play. Seattle led by as many as 17. Portland came all the way back and got the lead. Now the Sonics are trying to close the way they opened. Ellis couldn't get that one to fall. Porter the rebound. Blazers on the run to Drexler. Tipped away by Ellis. He'll be called for the personal. Drexler now has 23. It's a 5-point Seattle lead. 2:35 remaining. Boy, McKey has just tied his career high. 32 points for Derrick McKey. 97-90, Seattle by 7.
And he'd like to get Duckworth inside against a smaller Cage. Cage strips him of the ball.
Cage has done that several times tonight.
They'd like to get him in the paint on the box where he has a chance to use his size and really ability to score inside, and Sonics have forced him away from that. Drexler for 3.
A little bit strong with the shot. Rebound comes right back out to him, though.
There's
Underneath Duckworth against McDaniel. Count the basket. The X-Man fouled him. Kevin Duckworth now has 14. That makes it a 5-point Seattle lead. And Duckworth with a good free throw can cut it to 4.
Kersey finds Duckworth inside. McDaniels tries to keep from getting the ball. Takes a little pork chop on the way. Little elbow, and Duckworth can't get the 3-point play.
Blazers have missed some big free throw efforts in this final quarter. There's your time remaining, and there's the 5-point story.
Well, they're just isolating McKey in at the box and letting him be the ball handler or the playmaker.
Derrick McKey, still just a baby. He's only 21 years old. Baseline jumper was out of bounds. Who touched it last? Cage did. It'll belong to Portland. Portland can get it down to a 3-point game here.
Now, it's important for Portland not to decide that every shot has to come from the perimeter, and if they move the ball, move their people quickly, they got a chance to score in on the box. They try to come to Duckworth. Cage gets around, knocks it out of bounds.
So there'll be 13 seconds left on the shot clock. 1:29 left in the game. The inbounds pass will come from the veteran Caldwell Jones. Into Duckworth. Kersey got decked. Duckworth takes the shot, a little strong. Rebound pulled away by Nate McMillan. Still a 5-point lead for Seattle. They'll use up some time here.
Now, this is a big possession for the Sonics. If they can push it to 7, they'll have the game in hand. McDaniel against Caldwell Jones.
5 seconds left to shoot it. Down to 3. Cage takes the long jumper. No good. Drexler the rebound. Less than a minute to go. Porter drives the lane. Somehow got that to fall. Terry Porter has 8. It's a 3-point Seattle lead with 54 seconds remaining. Delay of game warning issued against the Blazers. McDaniel had a torrid first half, has cooled off some here in the second half.
Now, what Portland wants is good defensive pressure, forcing that ball to come over the top, and then they have to rebound it. They let McKey get at the iron, and he scores again, and he has been the story in the period.
Perfect Play is brought to you by the Polaroid Spectra system, the only camera that makes time stand still.
Well, they say if you move without the basketball, good things can happen, and McKey beats the defense, drops it in over the top, gets a big hoop, and for Bernie Bickerstaff, that's as pretty as it gets, and it's got to be a picture-perfect play, career-high night for Derrick McKey.
His previous career-high 32 points, he got that earlier this month, back on January 9th against Cleveland, so he, in his second year, really coming into his own. As you see, the Blazers have not been losing by huge margins, which has got some of the fans and Coach Mike Schuler frustrated here in Portland, too.
Well, sometimes that's worse when you lose the close ball games. Portland looking for a three. Porter pulls the trigger. Duckworth follows.
Duckworth now with 16. Once again, it's a three-point game. You see the time remaining.
Now, the guy that they would like to foul would be someone like McDaniel. He calls it timeout with 16 on, and they get it. Use a couple of more seconds in the backcourt. But they beat that very quickly. 3.
And he'll bring it back out to Ellis. 10 seconds left now on the shot clock.
Now, see, they are doing it. Be content to run out the clock. They get McDaniel finally with the foul.
Ball games.
Late
checks back in, replacing.
They're going matchup for matchup. They've got 6 people out on the floor. Cage didn't want to come out.
But comes out. McMillan started toward the bench, and then he was signaled back in there. Only 11 seconds remaining.
Danny Young. That's one hoop. Now they've got to foul again and stop the clock. They've got to get to Ellis.
Porter does with 5 seconds. It's a 3-point game. Oh, a lot of players would be very happy with a 24-point performance. And there's Drexler for an easy 2 to finish off the ball game, but it's too little, too late. Seattle maintains their winning streak at 4 straight, and the problems continue for the Portland Trailblazers.
Draft pick from a year ago, Jorge Gonzalez. He's 7'7", 403 pounds. But he won't be eligible, of course, until, well, maybe next year. Meanwhile, good defense by the Hawks. Down court to Dominique Wilkins, who put on quite a show tonight. 41 points for the Neek. There he goes again. And the Hawks win it big, 121-105. Denver at New Jersey, the big story. Michael Adams did not get a three-pointer. His streak at 79 consecutive games, the all-time NBA record, comes to a close. Meanwhile, the Nets playing very well and getting a few lucky breaks. Roy Hinson gets the basket. Dennis Hobson again to Hinson, this time in the second half. And New Jersey defeats Denver by 2 despite 43 points by Alex English. Here's a big story. Dallas at Chicago. Sam Vincent ahead to Scottie Pippen. He gets the basket. The Bulls are on top by 8, but the story is Michael Jordan. What's a highlight tape with the Bulls without Jordan? Here's a nice move. Watch the English on this ball. But then a breathtaking, heart-stopping moment for the fans in Chicago. Jordan collides with Bill Cartwright, goes down. He obviously is in pain, has hurt his left knee. He was helped off the court. The diagnosis is a bruised left knee, so that is good news. Apparently nothing serious, but we doubt if we'll see him back in the game tonight.
Finished strong, made all of the key plays for them down the stretch when the Trailblazers were in a tie ball game, and McKey is going to be a star of the future for the Sonics for many years to come.
And on behalf of Miller Lite Superstation TBS, proud to donate $1,000 to the United Cerebral Palsy Association in his name. So things continue to go